Hello all my friends. Well, I'm going to try and do this. I think I have all my video problems somewhat solved. It's been a while since I've done this, and I've put on a second layer. I was trying to videotape me doing the second layer and everything, and my camera quit working. Couldn't figure out what was going on. I spent quite a few days trying to figure out. Finally, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she says, Mom, she says, set the camera up and hit video and watch the screen. I'm like, okay. Batteries. So that was what my problem was. My batteries were literally dying. So what I'm doing now is, this is the layers of the decorative papers that I am putting on here now. So if I can do this and keep the cats from getting in here. They seem to think they have to be part of this. And don't misunderstand me. I love having them help me. They're my fan club, so I don't mind them being here. It is just sometimes they want to get into it when at a very bad time. So right now Penelope is up here sitting on the tissue box watching everything. As long as she stays there, everything's fine. I don't worry about it. I don't have to worry about her. But I don't want her into the bowl here. I don't want either one of them trying to get into any of this stuff. But there's no place in my apartment to really keep them away while I'm doing this. If I try and lock them away where their cat box is, then they can't get to their food. And frankly, this is their home. This is their space too. So it's just a matter of, okay, girls, can't do this. You gotta, go away. So. But they're learning. It takes time. They're kids. Okay. Well, Thursday, I went and fixed dinner for my oldest daughter for her birthday. Her birthday was last week, and she turned 36. Yes, Crystal, I told everybody your age is not old. So I did that. Oh, and the best thing was I had to go down and take my granddaughter's entry into the fair Monday. Our fair started yesterday. And oh my gosh, what I went through to get there, what I went through to get that thing entered was unbelievable. First, this can come down. It's my legs that are cold. It's hot here, but I'm always cold, so I have a blanket on to try and help keep me somewhat comfortable. But anyway, I asked my caregiver if she thought she might be able to help me get to the fairgrounds. Her car, she told me no, because she said her car may not even make it home. She has something wrong with her tire. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I can deal with this. So I walked outside and went to the bus stop. Well, that first bus that I have to take was late. And I had to wait, and it was like 10 minutes late. So when I got to the Main Street bus station, of course, it made us late for the connection to the second bus. So I had to wait a while to catch the next bus. So then I finally got it and rode it to the third bus. Yes, it took 3 buses. Now, thankfully, when I got to where I catch the third bus, didn't have to wait long for my next bus, which I was very grateful for, because by now I'm already tired and wondering, God, was there another way I could have done this? And I couldn't do it another day because these things have to be turned in on certain days. And for her, it was Monday. So then I rode the bus. I was waiting for him to make this one turn, because I knew after he made the turn I was going to be getting off at the next stop. So he made the turn, I pulled the cord, and he goes, is it this stop or the next stop? And I said, I have to go to the fairgrounds. And he goes, oh, this stop. I get off the bus, and the walk just to get to the entry to the fairgrounds was something like 15 minutes for me. Maybe for somebody who has healthy legs would have only been 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, but I don't have healthy legs. So, but I did it. I got all the way down there, got to the driveway, turned and started walking down that long driveway towards the, what do you call it, the gate. Anyway, to get from where I got off the bus to the entry to get to the building where I had to turn in her piece took me a total of 45 minutes to walk. Mind you, I have rheumatoid arthritis and I have degenerative arthritis. Plus I suffer from severe chronic fatigue. So by the time I just got to the front gate, I am so worn out. I'm about ready to pass out. And I noticed there was a lady in a ticket booth, and I asked her, I said, where do I go to turn in this entry? Oh, you have to go to the South Expo building. Where's that? Oh, go through this gate, and she goes, it's down this walkway. She goes, it'll only take you about 5 minutes to walk there. I said, maybe you 5 minutes, me about 15. So I did. I started walking, and I walked, and I walked, and I get down there, and there's this humongous line. Well, I decided I got to go to the bathroom first. So I get in there, and I find out the bathrooms are way at the other end of the building. So walked all the way back there, and went back there, did what I had to do, went back to the front of the building to stand in line to turn in this entry. Stood there for almost 30 minutes. And I just kept thinking to myself, I am going to die before I get home. I'm not going to make it. And I thought, no, I'm not. I'm going to do this. So anyway, I finally get up there, and she goes, I said, I need to turn this in for my granddaughter. It's her entry. I said, but she can't come because of other reasons. Okay, has she ever entered anything into the fair before? No. Are you sure? I'm positive. And she goes, well, I'm finding her right here that she has. And I'm like, impossible. There is no way she's ever entered anything before. Because her mother even said that, it's not something that, they haven't been to the fair. None of them have. She's been to the fair with me when I took her a few years ago. But they don't normally go to the fair because my son-in-law doesn't like things like that. So she's looking at it and everything, and and she goes, it says here that she's turned in a couple of things before. She goes, and I'm trying to see if she's ever turned this in. And I said, I know she hasn't. Turns out the person she's looking at, the last name is spelt with a Y, where Mallory's last name is spelt with an I. Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay. So get this all taken care of. She finally gives me a ticket, and she says, you have to go to that back table to turn this in. Okay, so I walk all the way back again to the back of the building to go turn this in, and I get back there, and I'm standing in line, and I'm just like, by this time now, I've been on my feet for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And I am beginning to wonder if I'm even going to make it home because of how tired I am. And wondering how much would it cost to take a taxi home? You know, is it worth it? You know, is it worth using my fare money to go, you know, take a taxi home because of how I feel? It would probably cost me about 20 bucks to get home. But anyway, I get my turn comes up, and she looks at the thing and she goes, oh, this is a junior division, but, oh no, we can enter this. She says she's in high school. And I said, no, she's not. She's a senior in middle school. Oh, well then you have to go to the North Expo building. Where's that? Oh, just walk out the front of the building, turn right, and keep walking. You can't miss it. You'll have to pass the Center Expo, and then you'll pass the I forget what she called it. There's something else. But then you'll see the North Expo building. So I did. I'm walking, and I'm seeing these people go by me in those little golf cart things, and I'm about ready to give me a ride type thing, but I kept my mouth shut, you know, and I kept on walking. And I finally get there, and there's a line in there for people turning stuff in. And this one lady, I get in there, and I am so tired. You can see that I am having problems. And this young gentleman, I'm saying young because he had to be like in his 30s, he comes up to me and he says, ma'am, he says, are you here to turn something in? I said, I'm here to turn my granddaughter's entry in for the fair. And he said, what is it? And I showed him, I'm holding on to this deer for dear life. I ain't not letting anything happen to this deer. And he goes, come with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with him. And he takes me, he says, you already have the paperwork, that the tag? And I said, is this what you're talking about? And I showed him what the lady at the other building gave me. Yes, this is what you need here. So I get out there, and he says, you'll have to stand in line here. And I'm like, okay. So I go to stand in line, and I'm standing there leaning on my cane, trying to stay on my feet. And this lady comes up, and she says, come with me, honey. And I'm just like, okay. I don't like being called honey, but I'm not going to argue at this point. I'm tired. And she says, you look like you're about ready to fall over. And they get me a chair to sit down. And she takes my information. I put the deer down so I don't drop it. And she says she could be entered in the adults because she's in high school. And I said, nope, she's a senior in middle school. I said her birthday's in Christmas, so she had to wait a year. And she goes, oh, one of those poor kids. And I said, yeah, but I said, it's okay. She's been doing good. She's smart as a whip. And so she says, okay, let's see what we have here. And she goes, ooh, this is pretty. And I'm like, oh, I'll let her know that you liked it and everything. And we talked for a couple of minutes. And I said, thank you for taking me. I said, it's taken me 3 hours to get here by bus. I've had to walk all the way that driveway and all the way up here. I said, I'm exhausted. And I still have to go home. And I still have to find a way to get the fair tickets that I ordered printed out. That's not going to cost me a small or get the fair tickets. And I said, I still have to stop one other place to go get something done. And she's like, oh, honey, man, you ought to get the award for the best grandma. I started laughing. I said, I'm doing this for selfish reasons. I want her to have the recognition that I think she should get because she takes after me. And she's just like, oh, you like to do things like this? And I said, yep. So she gets it all done. She finally gives me my tag, or what they call a claim check tag, so that when the fair is over, mind you now, on the 28th of August, I have to go back to the fair to pick it up. I am dreading that day, but I will do it. I'll go get it. But anyway, so she told me that I could sit in the, she says, there's a bench over there. She says, just go right over there. If you need to sit down for a little longer, she said, just go right over there and sit down and rest until you're ready to go. And she even gave me a bottle of water, which I thought was very nice of her. So I go over there, and I did. I sat down for about 15 minutes just to give myself a breather to, start this journey back home. And like I said, that driveway alone is long, and I still had to go get to the driveway. So I decided, okay, we got to get going. Sitting there is not going to get me home. And I decided taking a taxi was not going to be worth it, because that's $20 I want to be able to spend at the fair buying something, or something like that. So I get up and start making my journey. When I got back to where that ticket booth was, I thought, I'm going to ask the lady about these tickets. So I go up there and I asked her, I want to buy the tickets online, but I can't find anywhere to print them because my printer won't work. And she's like, oh, no, don't buy them online. She says, you can buy them here. Really? And she goes, yeah. So needless to say, and I said, okay. So I said, I need to do it on 3 different credit cards, because I said the one credit card, I said, it's the way I have it set up. And she goes, that's fine. So I go and I start, I tell her what I want, and she starts ringing it up. And see, you have to buy the tickets in advance if you want to go there to watch the eclipse from the stands. Mind you, here in Boise, we're not in what you call line of totality. We're going to see 99.75% of the eclipse. That little 0.25%, as he said, is not even really noticeable. When they were talking on the news about it, he said that little 25%. He said, unless you are really, studying things like that, he says it's not noticeable.